All right, y'all. Uh, so today was a pretty interesting day. Um, I went to the Jaguars versus the Redskins game in Jacksonville, Florida. Um, it was a great experience. The Jacksonville Jaguars actually won last minute Super Bowl. I mean, last minute kick. I believe it was 16-13 was the final score. So it was amazing. The crowd was alive. Um, and just me interning with the Redskins, I kind of I noticed the little things like how the stadium is set up and um, what segments are playing in between games. So overall, I think one of the things that Jacksonville has is definitely the weather. I mean, it was beautiful out there. It had to been at least 70 degrees out there. And I'm just being modest. It's probably like 80 something. But it was a really, really great experience. I enjoyed myself. But while I was out here, um, one of the things that I kind of thought about was uh, the difference between average and being great. The difference between being average and being great. Um, in sports, you see, a lot of people. I talked in my first video about, players who were drafted in the first round, but for whatever reason, they didn't make it. They didn't make it to their second contract, or um, you know, they didn't, have 10-year careers or advance their careers the way they could have. And some of the things I learned is that some of the great athletes are willing to invest in themselves. So one person I'll point out is like Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown recently signed a contract for like a mega deal. I think upwards of 70 million, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and I mean just the work ethic he puts in. If you ever follow his Snapchat, or if you see some of his social media, he's open about the work that he puts in on the off season. So a lot of that money that he has, he doesn't blow it on chains, watches, cars, you know the material things. He takes a lot of that money and invests it in his body, invested in a personal trainer, invested in his nutrition, things that are going to help him in the long run. Same with James Harrison with Pittsburgh. A lot of those Pittsburgh guys seem to kind of understand what it takes to really be a true professional athlete. Um, so that's definitely one thing. Michael Jordan actually, towards his the middle part of his career, he invested in a trainer, and invested on building his body up, during the off season, so he can be prepared for the longevity of the regular season. Um, so that's definitely one thing I would say is definitely investing in your body, investing in yourself, using that money not just to benefit, or just to live for right now, but use it to invest in your future. And that's with life too. Like you got to invest in yourself. Whatever it is you want to do in life, you have to learn that it may be a short term sacrifice here, a couple dollars here, but in the long run, it's going to pay off for you. Average athletes kind of accept where they are. They accept their God given talent. Both average athletes and great athletes have tremendous talent. They have great talent, but the great athlete wants to get better. He wants to refine the small things and get better at the little things. Jordan wanted to get better at free throws. Um, you know, j- uh, you know, Antonio Brown came in as a receiver. I mean, as a quarterback before, in high school, and a pretty good receiver at Central Michigan. But in college, I mean, in between college and pros, I mean, his route running is impeccable. You can tell because he puts in the time and attention to detail. So I would definitely say, both have talent, but one is willing to invest in himself to get better. It's about getting better, not being complacent. Underdog mentality, as we mentioned before, is someone who stays hungry, who stays motivated, who stays, ready at all times to get better and to improve, and so he can be the one to make that play for the team. Um, so that's one thing I want you to kind of think about. Um, And when it comes to college, you know, every season, you should look at how can I get better? How can I get better from last game? You may have had a great game the game before, but how can you get better? Always look at that. So those are the things I kind of want you to think about, the difference between great and average, and apply this to your life. How am I doing in my off season training? Am I looking at enough film? Because if you're doing this stuff in college, a professional team can trust you to do it when you're there. So begin, like I said in the last video, begin with the end in mind. Okay, so that's something I want you to think about. And you guys take care, and I'll follow up with you guys soon. All right, peace.